Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to have you here. Glad to be here. First trading day of the week. Joey, I need the mouse for a second. All right, tell me when I can take it. All right, and man, a lot of stuff happening over the weekend affecting the market. We'll see how that all works out. I want to wait until we get more people in the room, but if you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Good afternoon, Mark. Glad to see you this weekend in our live event in Atlanta. Got an opportunity to meet some more VV Nation this weekend. Thank you very much for that, Mark. I just got a text from my daughter yesterday that she arrived at her destination. And so she's there. Good afternoon, Tabula. Glenn. Man, Glenn, you've only got one N. That's not the right way to spell Glenn. Glenn is with two N's. At least because my name is spelled with two N's. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. Peter is here from Belgium. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Good afternoon, Richard. Jack says, all good. All right. Joey, let me see how many people in the room. I didn't hear the alert click over. You just got it? I didn't. Oh, that's because I don't have the iPad in here. Ryan's got it still. So normally I hear it click off over there, but I'm looking at how many people are there. I'm still waiting for some more people to get in the house. You know what I'm saying? First trading day of the week. Man, is the market setting up. The event in Atlanta was awesome. Not awesomosity in this. Wow. That was, but man, that was our third event. Live event, and man, it's been a pleasure to go out and meet VV Nation in person. That's the angry way to say Glenn. All right. Well, I'm angry. Ask Joey. I'm always angry. I'm never angry. Glenn is a valley, typically one of long and bounded by gently sloped concave sides. Carol is here. Good afternoon, Carol. Met her. Finally got to meet her. That was awesome. So I always love meeting new people. We got 134 people in the room, so it looks like the alert hit. So that's a good thing. You know me. Let's get 300 people in the room. With the information that we strive to give to VV Nation, you guys can share this link. Joey's going to put it in the... I met Nat too. Nat, I met you. As I watch your name come across, I met you too. It was an awesome pleasure to meet you. And Nat says, "Hi, Glenn. The background is creepy. It's Joey's fault. I like it though." Glenn, when are you coming to Houston? I don't know. We were thinking about coming to Dallas. We'll see. I don't know about Houston. Left up to me once a month. I'd love to travel around the United States meeting VV Nation. I'd love to. So if you want that to happen, you need to send the upper management. You need to tell them we want Glenn once a month all over the United States. You tell them that. That ain't going to happen, though. Just telling you that's not going to happen. But we'll see. I would really love to have the opportunity to travel around the United States at least once a month to see you guys, right? So, but if you guys hoop and holler enough about it, maybe. Maybe. VP says bypass Dallas and come to Houston. I'm thinking they would love to send you more frequently, says Mark. See, Mark, you starting. You just trying to get in timeout. You just trying to get yourself into some timeout. Let me adjust this, Joey. There we go. You just trying to get yourself into some timeout. All right. So with that, we got 151 people again. Tampa, we're going to be in Tampa. As far as I know, unless anything changes, we're going to be in Tampa the first weekend of January. So that is going to be a live event. But Joey, we'll probably stream that, right? I'm thinking that we will stream that. So Joey's in the background doing stuff. So I think that unless anything changes, we should be we're going to still be in Tampa. Joey normally goes to that, so most likely we'll stream it as well. Glenn, I missed you this weekend. When do you plan to come back down south, either Alabama and Atlanta? I don't know. I'm not the guy that sets up all of this stuff. If not, I told you, I'd be out once a month all over. All right, sunny Florida here at Evangeline. It's a little chilly today. I'm wondering if Joey is still wearing shorts. It's I got my sweater, my light sweater on today. So I thought you were going to New Hampshire the first week of January. I'm not doing that. Now, even if they say, hey, Glenn, we're going to New Hampshire the first weekend in January, I'm not going. It's too damn cold. I'm not going. All right. So with that, all right, let's get into what's going on in the market. As you can see, primary wave is back up again. We got a green light in the color guard pricing column, a lot of yellow. So is it time? Is it time to start taking off again? You know something? I think a lot of what's making the market move right now is the war in Israel, oil. Actually, gold is something I'm keeping my eyes on as well. As a matter of fact, talking about that, I think tonight's video, the 6 p.m. video, is going to be about ETFs. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be about ETFs, but I think I'm going to put a nice little spin on it to help you catch your attention. All right, so the 6 p.m. video is, and I think it's going to be a very short video to the point. I don't think you need to over expound on ETFs or exchange traded funds. So check out tonight. Check out tonight's 6 p.m. video. Evangeline says, I'm still wearing shorts. I'm not wearing shorts. I'm not wearing shorts. I don't even wear shorts in the summertime. Why? Because my legs are too sexy. So I don't wear shorts. Joey, on the other hand, his legs are like, so he can wear shorts. Me, my legs are too sexy for me to wear shorts. So I don't wear shorts. That's all I got to say about that. All right. So all of the major indices are up today. Look at that. Everything. The NASDAQ was up 1% and the S&P was up 1%. But all of the major indices, as we can see, are up a lot. So what does that mean for us? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to get into, I don't know if I really want to get into the software yet. I do a little bit. Let's go see what our indices look like. Let's go into the program. Let's go see what our major indices look like. Again, all of the major indices were up today. Look at that. They're all back to 1% except for the Qs, which normally leads a rally or a decline. Looks like the big move today is the IWM or the Russell 2000. Why? Because fear is breaking down. Look at that. The volatility or the VIX on the S&P 500 has fallen down over 8% today, which means people are a little bit more greedy than they are fearful. Even with the war going on, people are feeling their oats. And the IWM on the Russell 2000, people are jumping on board with the riskier stocks because they're feeling less fearful. I think that we all know that the market to a certain degree has been oversold. We've had a couple of different rallies to try to get out of the doldrums. It just hasn't panned out yet. But a nice up day in the market again with the Russell 2000 stocks leading the way. People are less fearful in the market, and it is what it is. So the market's giving you an opportunity to buy, but I'm still going to say be very careful. I've talked to you about all of my bubbles, and we'll see how that works out. I'm going to talk about oil today and what could really start to spike oil, especially the stocks. All right, so we'll keep that in mind as well. But this is where all of the major indices sit today. Mike says, Glenn, why don't you trust this primary wave? Because, Mike, I've been saying for the longest time, this market just doesn't feel right. It hasn't felt right. The primary wave has not been backed up by the DEW. Let's go over to the graphs. Just real quick, I want to go to a market timing graph. This is intraday one-day bars. All right, this is intraday. The market gapped up. Where's it at? There it is. The market gapped up this morning. No problem. Nothing. No fear of it breaking down through the gap up this morning. We're trading higher. Our day trading timing signal, which I won't show here because that's reserved for the people who are in the jockey club. And I won't even tell you where it's telling us where to be right now. But what I can say, on a day like today, you have an opportunity to make money. Let's put this on a 1 month graph. Look at that. That's a nice up day on today's candle. Took out Friday's candle. And I'm looking at the 3 and the 8. The 3 and the 8 look like they're about ready to cross. So the question is, why don't you trust this primary wave? I'm going to go put on the most recent primary wave. Look at that. We got a primary wave call. Boom. We came back down. That was the first primary wave coming off of this hammer formation, the 388 cross. Everything looked good. We got a level of resistance on the composite sitting at 56.92. So, Mike, does that answer your question? And then from a market timing perspective, let's go put this on a 3-month graph. On the market timing perspective, I'm looking for the DEW. We still haven't gotten a DEW call up yet. Even boom, nice move, no DEW call. We've been down. Boom, short move, right at that level of resistance. Most recent move, right at that level of resistance. So, Mike, that's the reason why I'm not fully in on the primary wave. But if you are a subscriber to the VectorVest software and you take what the market gives you, you get opportunities to make money. The opportunities are there. All I'm telling you to do is just to be careful. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Yes or no? Does that make sense to everybody in the room? I'm not telling you not to take advantage of the primary waves up. All I'm telling you right now, based on the market timing graph, I just want you to be cautious. And I want the market to come to you. All right? The market's giving you the short-term plays. If I'm really looking for an extended move to the upside, I am looking for the DEW timing signal to give me a call to the upside. Don't disregard these opportunities. Just be careful during these opportunities. So that's all that I want to have happen. I just want you guys to be aware of what's going on and just be careful. Again, nice up day in the market today. You have opportunities. All of the major indices are up. Take advantage of it, but just don't back up the truck. All right, so what's causing the market to look the way it does? Now we'll get into the news. And a lot of news coming out. Let me zoom this back out. Fed officials prepare to extend rate pause without saying hikes are done. So every time I ask this question, I get a mixed room about whether or not on the next decision, do we raise interest rates or do we pause them? A lot of people feel that we're going to pause again. I got a thing from somebody. Someone gave me something. Where is it? Research. Fed Watch tool. I forgot who gave me that. Somebody gave me this. I like it. But look at this. Ease, no change. This is a website that a customer sent to me. No change. 90% chance of no change. Only like a 10% chance of a hike. Carol, I'm with you. I am so with you when it comes down to that. I am so with you when it comes to raise them. Raise them, raise them, raise them. Evangeline says, I'd like to invest in companies that have dividends. We did a dividend video not too long ago, Joey. Joey, if you can find it, put the link in the room for Evangeline. We try to stay on top of everything that's going on in the market and try to make videos pertinent to what you guys are looking for and pertinent to you guys' ability to make money in the market. If Joey can find the link, and it was actually cheap dividend paying companies. So if Joey can find it, he'll put the link in there. What's up, Fireblazer? He'll put the link in there. Or if not, Evangeline, go check on our channel. It wasn't too long ago that we did that video on dividend paying stocks. And then I followed up, and I did one on monthly dividend paying stocks. So check them out. They're on our channel. And I always invite everybody out here. We do a lot more than just live streams. Go check out the video content that we have on our channel. There's a lot of stuff out there for you guys. All right, so a higher probability of no change than it is to hike. Gotta go. Have a good day, James. Oh, you want to listen to. I hear you, James. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out, James. Just do that for me. Jim Penna's videos have dividend stocks. Yes. So we've got more information on our channel than just live streams. All right. So big story in regards to the Fed's ability or what they will do going forward. Something, as I made another video. I'm tired. There you go. Thank you, Joey. Joey put the link up there for you, Evangeline. I'm tired of playing with this market. I'm just going to take what the market gives me instead of trying to guess. Just tired of guessing. I know what should happen, but it doesn't matter what I think. The Fed's going to do what it's going to do. U.S. inflation is still running at a brisk pace. And you see that in the story, but the Feds are preparing to still pause. Listen, I got nothing more to say about that. Oil. Now, I got a little tidbit of information to give you about oil. Oil prices jumped nearly 6% amid geopolitical tensions, post the best day since April. That was Friday the 13th. How many of you have heard, all right, I don't like politics, but how many people have heard that Iran says if the U.S. keeps putting, we got now 2 carrier groups in this situation, possibly 2. We don't know where the second carrier group is going yet, but we've got 1 carrier group in the Middle East, and Iran, which is an oil producing country, says if the U.S. keeps, doing what they're doing in support of Israel, that they're going to get involved. Hold on. Without trying to be political, for anybody who thinks that Iran is not involved right now, I think something is wrong if you think that way. All right. Now, Lee says talk is cheap. I don't think that it's in Iran's best interest to try to flex its muscle outside of Hezbollah and Hamas. If they get involved, I think that Israel's just looking for a reason to go and say, all right, Iran, you're in, you're in. If an oil-producing country gets involved in this war, oil is going to spike like nobody's business. All right? So that's my little tidbit. Oil on paper, to me, I still think should be rising. But then I'm reading the stories about the production is up, and we found all these barrels of oil over the last API report. And again, the supply ain't there, but evidently we got oversupply. All right. Akshaya says, Glenn, please don't be on both sides. It's binary decision. Are the technicals looking good to start loading up or wait until the confirmed call? Akshaya, you didn't let me finish the story. All right. In regards to oil should jump if Iran gets involved. I didn't say if it was the right time or not. We'll get into that. All right. We'll get into that. Just giving you the insights behind what I see going on with oil and the things that could move oil prices. Iran is not all of OPEC. I didn't say it was either, but it is an oil producing country that could affect oil prices. All right, so that's all that I'm saying. Reports is that the Ike is heading to the Mediterranean Sea. I just saw a story that is one of 3 places that it can go, and one of them is the Mediterranean. Nobody's supposed to know where it's actually going. All right, and that makes sense. We don't want to put our troops in harm's way by saying, yeah, they're going to be here. So we'll see what happens. We are going to send money to Ukraine or Israel. I'm not getting into that. Right now, we can't send money to nowhere because we don't have a Speaker of the House. All right, next story. All right, so I wanted to give some insights on what was going on with oil. I just heard that the U.S. is making a deal with Venezuela. They are always being, listen, the deals that we make or don't make are, I can't say they're inconsequential because they will affect oil. But Venezuela oil is dirty oil. It's just dirty, dirty, dirty oil. Dan is saying oil is going to $200. The piece that I put in about Iran is definitely going to be a catalyst to move oil much higher. All right, we're going to get back to oil in a moment. How many of you saw this story today? I know that you know me, I'm not big on crypto, but this was a big story. Bitcoin jumps to near 28,000 as the bulls bet on ETF approval. And then there was a story that the SEC was going to okay a spot ETF on crypto. All right. Has anybody seen this story? Yes or no? And I know there's not a lot of crypto people here on our channel, but crypto still becomes relevant in the stories that it makes. I still think that we're in crypto winter, but we'll see. T says no. So then, no, good. So nobody, Evangeline saw it. A couple of people did see it. So let me back this up. Bitcoin spikes 10% on false report of BlackRock ETF approval. A lot of people jumped in on crypto. A lot of people jumped in on crypto because there was a story that the SEC was going to approve a spot ETF, a spot price ETF. Kathy Woods was interested in GPTC ETF, but this report came out and it said CoinGraph edited and eventually deleted the Twitter message announcing that the iShares BlackRock ETF application had been approved. Holy smokes. Now, are a lot of people holding the bag on the move of crypto? Well, let me tell you a little something that you may or may not have known in regards who holds a lot of crypto. The US government holds over $5 billion in Bitcoin, becomes a major Bitcoin player. How many of you knew this? Now, that's a story that I had not known, but the government holds over $5 billion in Bitcoin. Anybody knew that? That's a very interesting story. The U.S. government has amassed Bitcoin worth approximately $5 billion in recent developments. These assets confiscated in connection with various criminal activities now form one of the largest known Bitcoin caches. Cyber criminals in the darknet marketplaces are the primary contributors to this stash, with the federal agencies ensuring these digital assets are secured offline in encrypted hardware. Very interesting. Again, you know me, I always try to bring some newness to the market or to the live streams on things that you may not have known. I didn't know that America had this much money in crypto. And T says that came from all the accounts they seized, but they holding it. They seized it, but they're holding it. Jeremy says, not me. I was told most of the banks won't recognize Bitcoin. I did a story recently, Jeremy, that the Fed now, which is the central bank digital currency, now has over 100 customers using it, 100 institutions using it. The Fed now is the digital currency. Steve Chappell talked to me about one bank somewhere who's not even making any transactions in cash, but it's all digital currency. This is coming more and more to fruition. To me, I think it's really scary because if you have control over my digital currency to spend, you can control how I spend it. All right, Dan says it's old news. Evidently, Dan, there's a lot of people in here that did not know it. There's a lot of people, as you saw in the chat, there's a lot of people in here that did not know it. So what may be old news to you, my friend, may not always be old news. My church, except for tithes and offerings. I hear that, Matt. I won't get into that, but I hear that. Mark, anybody investing in cryptocurrency can lose it all within minutes. Only reason is virtual currency has $0 value. Is that in Australia, Dennis? Thank you. I know Steve told me the story. I didn't know that it was in Australia. What could go wrong with that? That doesn't speak well for Bitcoin. The government loses on everything they're involved with. Wow, Lee. That was truth. That's all I got to say about it. That was truth. All right, let's go to the next story. Wall Street rises with a focus on earnings. Earnings is kicking over, but a lot of the earnings that are coming out this week are a lot of the banks that are coming out. So Wall Street rises with the focus on earnings and economic data. I wanted to look at some of the bank earnings, September retail home sales, what to watch for this week. Netflix is announcing, Morgan Stanley, Tesla, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. But there's another story in here. How about this? Lululemon is now going to join the S&P 500. So that's going to be, I don't know why it couldn't be part of it. The stock is trading at $400. But now I guess they met the criteria to be traded on the S&P, or they were waiting for stocks to come off the S&P 500 to now replace that. GBTC is priced well below the underlying asset and should fly if it becomes an ETF. And Bill, That's what a lot of people were looking for. They were looking for that ETF to hit. That would have driven, and if it ever does happen, that's going to drive Bitcoin higher. I don't think that there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that. What did Nat say? Nat said something. Nat says, okay, that was Roger was telling Nat to stop. All right. They will use $50 billion to buy those $200,000 toilet seats. Stop, Mark. The consumer is going to feel the personal interest payments have surpassed $500 billion. This level has never been since 1959. I don't think that there's anybody out there, me included. Everybody thinks that I'm a billionaire. I'm not far from it. But there's a lot of people, like I said, me included, that are actually feeling what's going on from an interest rate perspective. Whether it's on my credit cards, whether it's on the stuff that I just buy in general, I still think that everybody's feeling it. I just still don't feel that we're feeling it at the rate that we could be feeling it. All right. And we walk a tight rope in regards to that, because you don't want to kill the economy, but just like Fed Powell says, he's going to put the economy through some pain. I don't think we have felt the pain that we could feel. All right. Mark says, I'm working on my second billion. I gave up on the first billion. Listen, I ain't gonna talk about the personal finances, but I will tell you that VectorVest has put me in an awesome position. That's all I'll say about that. All right, that's all I'll say about that. All right, so very interesting. I've got in my watch list today some of the major banks that are going to be reporting this week. And here's a listing of the reporting. Charles Schwab, I think they already reported. I think they hit earnings but missed revenues. I think they hit earnings but missed revenues. As a matter of fact, let's go take a look at that real quick. Where is it? Investing.com, tools, earnings calendar. I think that let's go, where is it? Yeah, they beat earnings but missed revenue. But not by a lot. They beat earnings. They made 77 cents as forecasted at 75, but they missed revenue. And I'm wondering how many other banks are going to fall into that. Here's a bank shares, GMTY, missed on both earnings and revenue. These are already reported for today. What else is left? We got Service First Bank shares, FB Financial, Cross First Bank shares, Guarantee for Citizens. There's a lot of banks still report today. A Rite Aid. Ooh, how about Rite Aid? They filed Chapter 11 today. First Republic Bank. This is all today. These are all today. Only 2 of them have come out so far. With all the VV back testing I've done, I was a billionaire 10 years ago. Listen, is Tesla going to beat earnings this week? That's a good question. As a matter of fact, let's go back to, where was it? Oh, was it here? Let's go back to my earnings picture. Oh, man. Was it here? Go back. No. Let's go back. I did. Shut up, Joey. Oh, there it is. It's here. No, I didn't break it. I didn't break it. All right. You didn't do Jack Bone Diddley. Shut up. You didn't do anything. Question is Tesla going to beat? Let's do this. Let's go to the viewers. Let's go to my big news. I didn't put Tesla in my list, but I'm going to put Tesla in now. I'm going to give you an answer. I'm going to tell you that Tesla most likely should beat earnings. All right, they should beat earnings. The other side of the fence that I don't have access to is knowing if they're going to beat revenues. Just like you saw Schwab. Schwab beat earnings but missed revenues and still is going up. Tesla, I think, is going to beat earnings, but I think they're going to miss revenue because of the price war that they have with China in the cars. It's going to affect the bottom line. So I think Tesla misses revenue. That's my opinion. But I think based on the VectorVest system, the stock should beat earnings. Based on the VectorVest system, Relative safety on Schwab was above 1. It should have beat earnings, and it's a sell. It should have beat earnings, and it did. I think that Tesla should beat earnings a lot better than what Schwab did, but I don't know what the forward guidance is going to be. Don't forget the minus $10 for the big guy for the I just want to be a millionaire, so I have to lose my billions first. So I just have to convince my wife to stop spending to become a millionaire. Lulu will join the S&P because Microsoft bought Activision. Were both of those on the S&P? All right. I think that Lulu should have been on the S&P a long time ago, but they were probably looking for a spot to open up, and that looks like it could have been. That's exactly what happened. All right. So far we did talk about Lulu joining the S&P 500. Nicely moving up today, 10%. That's the biggest mover. It's a fundamentally sound stock. Fundamentally sound stock with good earnings growth rate. It's a buy recommendation. I'm all aboard with Lululemon. They are overvalued, though, which means people are paying a premium to own the stock. But it's got good upside potential. It's a good safe stock going up. See, everything else is good about it. So I like that stock. I like that stock, and I cannot lie. You wanted to know about Tesla. Overvalued, fundamentally sound. I've always liked Tesla, but I've been short-term on Tesla a couple of times, especially when they go after China for the purposes of the price war. Folks, there's nothing more that can be said except for it's going to hurt the bottom line. And that's why I think they miss revenues. That's why I think they miss revenues. But I think based on relative safety, they should beat earnings hands down. Didn't Lulu and Peloton partner up? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't want to partner up with Lulu, with Peloton. No, I did see that Peloton did get with somebody. I forgot who, John. It might have been Lulu. That will, if anything, that will only help Peloton, or it might hurt Lulu. But if it's going to hurt Lulu, I think it's going to have to overcome that Lulu got on board with the S&P, which should help pull up Peloton if they did get that. I know Peloton had a deal with somebody. I forgot who it was. The UAW strike is helping Tesla tons. I agree with that as well. I still don't think that based upon the war that they beat earnings. I just don't think so. Linda says yes, that Lulu and Peloton did partner up. If anything, that's going to help Peloton. All right, let's get back into the story. What stocks are in here? I've got Schwab, Nvidia, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. These are all stories that are coming out with earnings. There's that. There's Pfizer, Goldman Sachs. I'm going to put all of the banks up here. Netflix was in this story too. Schwab. All right. So these are earnings that are coming out. View the stock graph. We just talked about Tesla. Let's move this up because I want to look at the relative safeties on these stocks. Johnson & Johnson, it's a 3-month graph. Johnson & Johnson's been beaten up. Should it beat earnings at 1.07 on relative safety? It should. I don't know what if I'm looking at the downward move on price, I can only fathom. Let's go bring up sales. Add parameter, sales. Let's go look at sales growth. Sales growth is only 6%. It jumped. It's only 6%, but the stock's price is going down. I think with a relative safety over 1, though, it beats earnings. Pfizer, company's been around forever. It's got a relative safety at 0.99. You know what's hurting Pfizer? What's hurting Pfizer is the lack of sales of the COVID vaccine. Roger says, found an answer. Revenues up 13% and earnings are 0.73 per share year over year. On which stock, Roger? Which stock are you talking about? Robert, you're never late to the party. So Pfizer may or may not beat earnings with relative safety just below 1, but the lack of sales I think if they miss revenues, it's going to be because of the COVID vaccine. Let's go to the next stock. Goldman Sachs, a bank, a little bit of a sideways move. Relative safety at 0.94. It's another bank that could be missing earnings because relative safety is below 1. We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. But do you see a lot of these stocks are trending down? That's because 80% of the stocks move with the trend in the market. Let's go. And these are all before earnings. Man, Morgan Stanley, relative safety, again, below 1. Banks are going to be in trouble, folks. All right, banks are going to be in trouble. HSBC is looking good. Israeli cyber, or HUBC, Israeli cyber company, good volume 1 year. Todd, is that my Todd? That's not my Todd. I don't think that's my Todd. But I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at some stocks. We're going to look at about 10 of your stocks. Pfizer needs help. Call the Blue Man Crew. Yeah, Fireblazer. Where do you come off with all of this stuff, Fireblazer? Head and shoulders on Morgan Stanley. Ooh. Head, shoulder, shoulder. Neckline. Oh, I don't need that. That's a good call right there. How much downside can it have? Let's go see. There's the neckline. How much downside could it have? A lot. Wow. I still think that banks are in trouble overall, but we'll see. It could have a lot of downside, but there's the shoulder, head, neckline. It's below, and it looks like it's got more. Looks like it's got more downside. Oh, you're not my Todd. But Todd, when I give an opportunity to look at stocks, put your stock up in there, okay? Agree, only JPM I would consider, no other banks. And again, I'm just looking at the graphs, and I'm looking at our indicator. They don't look very promising. Same thing with Bank of America. Do I have a head and shoulders here too? Head, shoulder, neckline. Yeah, but look, it's on the rise coming into earnings. Where's relative safety? Relative safety is right at 1. I think that all of these banks may miss revenues. I think that they all may miss revenues, but we'll see. JPM is JP Morgan, Stephanie. JP Morgan. Bank D has been down a tad of late. I'm still keeping my eyes on B. I watch the banks as they report. Watch the banks as they report. Keep your eye on BNKD if they don't come through. All right, Netflix. A lot of stocks showing some semblance of a head and shoulders. Shoulder, neckline. Man, Netflix is just going down. I just did a story last week on the live stream where YouTube is outperforming Netflix for the youngsters to go watch stuff. JP Morgan Chase. I forget about the Chase part. I always forget about the Chase part. So many people overextending their credit limits getting ugly. That's one of my bubbles. Credit cards is one of my bubbles. And the last stock on the list we got is Schwab. Schwab beat earnings, missed revenues, but nice update today. But I don't know if I can call this a head and shoulders. I just call it the 3 and the 8 just crossed to the upside. RT is still below 1. All right, RT is still below 1. All right, so that's a lot of the banks and stuff that are reporting. Here's the crypto side. There's Coin and BTG, both up. False story about the SEC approving an ETF spot crypto. Let's go take a look at these two real quick on a graph. 3-month. BTG, look at that. Mining gold, silver, that's a crypto, but gold, if this stock's got some upside, let's see if we can get above 325. All right, RT still below 1 on Coin. There's a solid level of resistance sitting at 86.39, moving sideways. I'm not feeling either one of them right now. Well, actually, BTG might be if it can get above that level of resistance. So far, I think that's the majority of the stocks we looked at in the stories. Oracle. Here's another one. Oracle leads the race to $1 trillion valuation as AI stocks and cryptocurrencies soar. We already talked about cryptocurrencies. All right, but we're going to take a look at Oracle. Now, how many of you own gold? How many? Yeah, I saw that, Noor. It is up today, even though they missed revenue. Schwab is up today, even though they missed revenue. Robert says, Glenn, loved your AI YouTube. Nice job. Thank you, Robert. How many people out there own gold? How many of you own gold? All right. Interesting. John, hold that for the stocks to take a look at. Do you guys know why gold goes up during wartime? Well, in case you don't, I got a story for you. Why gold prices skyrocket when there's a war. And I'm going to scroll down. So gold is starting to move. All right, gold is starting to move. The big question, will the rally in gold continue and for how long? And will Israel-Hamas war give further boost to gold prices? Gold benefits from economic distress as investors turn to shun risky investments. Am I on the wrong one, Joey? I probably am. No, I'm not. All right. No. All right. It works like insurance. The ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Palestine can disrupt the long-term geopolitical equations, global supply chains, and trust in financial instruments. To minimize such risks, investors increase their allocation to the yellow metal. Another important aspect here is that investors prefer physical gold over any sovereign-backed gold securities in a doomsday-like scenarios. This is because sovereign bank gold is merely a promissory note by the government. All right, so that's why. So when I asked how many of you own gold, how many of you owned physical gold? Which list? Which link, Robert? Which link? Doesn't gold go up when the stock market goes down? And Michael, for the most part, it does. But you notice in the current market's scenario that hasn't happened. The market's been going down. But what's gold doing? All right, it just hasn't. All right, so I am looking at, from that perspective, me insurance for falling dollar value. And Lou, I did a video on the falling dollar. It still by far ain't nobody taking over the dollar as the reserve currency. No time soon. I've done 4 or 5 videos on the dollar, on the de-dollarization. Even with the BRICS involved, the dollar may be falling, but if you look at it long term, the dollar is nowhere near a super low. All right, it's never. Did you really get yours from Costco? All right, did you really get yours from Costco? All right, so Lou, everybody's talking about the falling dollar. I am not, and I've proved the case, or I've argued the case that it's not anything that's to the forefront right now that you've got to be super worried about. We are by far the currency globally. We are. All right, let's go look at gold. Say again? I know, but they couldn't keep. I know, but they couldn't keep it. So I wasn't sure. They couldn't keep it on. Did they really? I bought 10 ounces at $3.25 an ounce a long time ago. Dennis, that's not a bad play. I thought the BRICS goal was to replace the dollar. I think the BRICS goal is to devalue the dollar, because the BRICS people, even though they're trying to make their own currency, I think overall they want less people trading in dollars and trading amongst the BRICS countries. That way, if we put any sanctions, financial sanctions on countries, they won't care because they won't be trading as much dollar. So, Michael, does that make sense? And they ain't going to replace the dollar no time soon. All right, I did a video. It's on our channel. I did, like I said, 4 or 5 videos about de-dollarization. You want to know more about my argument about that? Go check it out on our channel. All right, so what was I? Oh, gold. So look at that. I got gold. I want to show you something. GLD, and let's go view a stock graph. I'm going to put GDX up here too. All right, I'm going to put GLD and GDX. GLD and GDX. Let's go put those up there. Yeah. GLD. Son of a gun. GLD, comma, GDX. Is that what I want? Yep. One is the miners and one is gold. So I'm going to put them both up. And I'm going to change the graph layout to the MPI. Gold. Entry signal given. All right. Entry, and that's on GLD. Entry signal given on 1010. No trend. I'll put this on a 6-month graph. So the question came up is, as the market goes down, gold goes up. The market had been going down. All right. I'm going to add new. Actually, I'm going to show you another feature that we don't always talk about. I'm going to put the VVC up here. put this on a 6-month graph as well. See the market? So the question came up is, when the market goes down, gold goes up. Remember I told you that this was a strange market in that the correlation is not in place? Who asked me about when gold goes, when the market goes down, gold goes up? Who asked me that question? Just type a me in the room. Who asked me that? All right. And I told you that the market just didn't feel right. Here's gold. Here's the market. Normally it would be the other way around. It would be gold is going, the market's going down, but gold is going up. Glenn, based on the color guards, we are bullish or bearish? Nor. I'm not going to take the time. Was you, Michael? I'm not going to take the time. I've already talked about what the market looks like right now. So, Nor, if you weren't, and again, I don't mean to sound like a jerk, if you weren't paying attention, I'm going to stick with what I'm doing right now. All right? Now, if you're locking me into, hey, Glenn said the market's going to go up. No, according to VectorVest, we got a green light. We got the primary wave up. I talked about that when we first came on. And that's where I'm going to leave it, Nor. All right? That's why I spend the time to go through that always in the beginning. I always do that. Michael says gold typically goes down when rates go up. Aha, that's the other side of just the correlation between the market and gold. So if the Fed is still raising rates, it may have trouble going up. Now, notice that if the Fed is pausing, that may give fuel to gold for gold to rise. But if I'm looking at it from the near perfect indicator, I got an entry signal, but no trend. Notice that over the last 6 months, not a lot of trend. I got more trend in the market timing than I've got on gold. But is gold giving me an opportunity? I think, as you saw in the story about what happens during war situations, gold rises. And I think that we're setting up for gold to rise, just like, I think, like I said, if Iran gets involved, oil will rise. So these are assumptions based on scenarios that are happening in the current market's conditions. Does that make sense to everybody in regards to gold and oil? Yes or no? Does that make sense to everybody in the room in regards to gold and oil? All right. And if it does, that's a good thing, because all I want you to do is keep your eyes out for these things. I am not telling anyone to back up the truck and go buy into either one of them, but they are setting up. I'm going to add one more graph. All right, I'm going to add on for 4. I want you to take a look at oil. All right, and let's go look at USO. Let's go look at USO. Still on a 6-month graph. I'm comparing all of these things to give you guys an understanding of what's going on. Oil has a trend by way of the MPI. Oil's got a trend. Even though it's pulled back, the trend is still intact. If you're a little bit more aggressive, it gave you an out signal by way of RT on 10-4, leveling out. But long term on paper, the trend is still there even after the pullback. So I'm looking at gold, I'm looking at oil, I'm looking at the composite. I don't know what else I need to look at right now. All I'm telling you, you're going to hear people tell you, hey, it's time to go buy gold. The story said that people resort back to gold. All I'm telling you is be careful. Here's the trend of it. Now, is the war really going to push gold higher? We don't know. But I'm telling you that it's setting up to move. The situation is there for it to move. How about oil? The oil has gotten hit, but the situation is the trend is still there. We got a signal to get out for the more aggressive person, but the trend is there. I got no trend on gold. So all I want to do is put things into perspective, no matter what anybody out there is telling you, no matter what I'm even telling you. I'm trying to not just give you the words. I want you to see what's going on and where you need to be. Now, with that being said, was that helpful in understanding what's going on with both gold and oil? Yes or no? All right. Type that in. I need everybody to answer that, because a lot of people are asking the questions about gold, are asking the questions about oil. I hope that this visual presentation brings things to perspective I want everybody in the room to answer because this is big. Because what's going on in the world could move these two exponentially. Literally. All right. Glenn wants you to what's going on. What's going on? Tell us what's going on. Oh, yeah. Carol, are you here? What's going on? Oh, what's going on? Woo! That's a little bit of Marvin Gaye. All right, that's a little bit of Marvin Gaye going on right there. All right, so I wanted to spend a little bit of time because these two are very hot topics, and I want you to see the power behind the VectorVest software to get you where you need to be at the right time. Oil is priced in gold by Russia and Saudi Arabia and Iran. Carol is here. How about I sang a little bit of Marvin Gaye? All right. And Robert is right. You got it right, Glenn. Exponentially. I want you guys to be prepared. A little bit more aggressive, you can be in gold. A little bit more aggressive, you should wait for a better buying opportunity with oil. Unless you still own oil, hold it because the trend is still there. I would then get rid of my oil. You know, actually, when the point hit here, I probably have taken half of my oil off the table and held the other half because the trend was in place. All right. That was a lot. I think I looked at mostly everything I wanted to look at. Did I look at Tesla? I told you about Tesla. I think it should beat earnings. I just don't think that revenues are going to come in. Glenn, I thought you were straight. What are you talking about, Fireblazer? BRICS is also based on gold. That's very true. The BRICS countries are amassing a ton of gold. All right, which means that when it comes time to talk about the reserve currency, the BRICS countries will have a seat at the table when it comes time to think about usurping the dollar. I just don't. We still got a lot of gold, all right, compared to all of them. We still got a lot of gold. So I still don't think that the BRICS have a real strong foot to stand on right now. We will still be the reserve currency for the foreseeable future. Again, I've got videos out in regards to the topic. All right, I've got videos out. All right. What else do I want to talk about? Keep your eyes still on Contras. Even on an update like today, do I have any Contras moving? Just the SVIX. That's it. Just keep your eyes on them. Phase 3 drugs for last week. Here's my phase 3 drugs. Let's go see what they did. Here's my phase 3 drugs. Somebody was telling me that they hold Bionomics. It was on my list last week. Let's go back a week. Let's go see if the drugs did any good. All right. Let's go see if you see it's up 9% today. Let's quick test all of them. How well did we go? Oh, not half bad. Wow, look at APLT, one of my stocks from last week, up 20%. Where's Binox? There it is. It's up almost 2% over the last week. How many of you pay attention to these drugs? That's a good play. Look at that, up 20%. Well, on the other side, SYRS is down 20%. LiPo is down 17%. The whole reason behind me giving you these phase 3 stocks is for ideas to hold on to. They're cheap for the most part. I always give you cheap stocks. This is a cheap play. But they all have phase 3 stuff behind it. My phase 3 stocks this week are, ta-da, right here. All right, a lot of them are sell recommendations, but they all have phase 3. Some of them are dirt cheap too. I like this one. This one is undervalued, and it's got good upside potential, and it's got phase 3 stuff behind it. Keep your eyes on some of these. I'm not telling you to go out and buy any of these. These are stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on. These could give you some really good short-term gains, especially if the phase 3 news pushes these stocks price higher. Jeremy says, so with the gold prices on the move, should we at least look at mining companies? You know something? Yes, as I showed you on the graph with GLD, and GDX, that was both. One was the GLD is gold, GLD is gold, comma, GDX is the miners. And as I looked at both of these on the basis of the MPI, I said gold, it's giving you a buy, no trend. Let's go look at GDX, giving you a buy, no trend. So it's up to you, Jeremy. The buy signal is in by way of RT. But if I'm looking at it from a trend perspective, I know that it's a more aggressive play. Does that make sense, Jeremy? All right. From a technical standpoint, looking at a timing to get in by way of RT, it's in. You can buy. I like the move. All right. That's on the miners, and this is on gold. Again, I like the move. But long term, I'm not feeling it yet because there's no trend. All right. Excuse me. There's no trend. And that's what I'm looking at. So if you're a little bit more aggressive, I'm going to say yes on both of these. All right. But also watch that they are in downtrends, both of them. That helps to make it a little bit more of an aggressive play as well. All right. All right. You are welcome, Jeremy. Let's go back to my viewers. Themes for the week. Especially with going on with war, I still think that commodities are a good thing to look at. All right, what's the biggest mover? This TBT is in this list. Good gravy. Platinum is on the rise. Copper's on the rise. There's uranium, lithium, and wheat. All right, those are the commodities that are moving today. All right, keep your eyes on that. I think commodities are a good way to take advantage of what's going on in the market in a safer way. Lode is a local mining company here where I live. I got you. I don't like cheap stocks and cheap wine. Then don't buy or drink either one of those. Jeremy B. Mexico is not selling the gold product and many mining companies are on strike and not producing. Carlos Slim owns one of them. Who the hell is Carlos Slims? Sigh. All right. Let's go take a look at your stocks. Weekly customer picks. I'm only taking 10 stocks. This is why I want you to wait, because I'm not going to remember the stocks you said earlier. All right, this is why I want you to wait. I'm taking 10 stocks. CRH, 1. No, Peter, that's too many stocks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Psi, power, PWR, Psi, PWR, all right, comma, CLS, comma, how many stocks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. PAG makes 8. NA makes 9. And AEHR makes 10. All right, there's my 10 stocks. Mark Newton, fast women and fast cars. I am going to put in defend. I think that's a good play. I'm not going to take more than one, Ted, because I didn't take more than one from another person who put in a several. All right. PGR, Psi. I said 10. I said 10. Psi. All right. It's 12. Wow, you gave me stocks. A lot of stocks that are buy recommendations. Only 4 that are sell recommendations. Let's sort this by VST. The majority of the stocks you gave me have a VST above 1. I still am telling you to keep your eyes on defense, especially with what's going on in Israel and Ukraine. All right. My best stocks, ACGL, good play. If I'm looking at that, that is fundamentally sound. Fundamentally, look at the top stocks. If I just look at all of these, they're all fundamentally sound, good stocks. Why don't you guys just give me crap stocks? Fundamentally sound, but it's a sell recommendation. Look at all of these double-digit earnings growth. Let's look at the top that have VSTs all above 1. Right-click, view the stock graph. Now I'm going to switch graphs, though. Now I'm going to switch graphs to my 3.8 GETJR. I'm going to put on the 3.8 now. Why? Because I want to. All right. Wow, look at, and I got the 20-day for trend. That's the only thing that I added on to my 3.8 graph is to look at trend. Power. Got a VST above 1. All right. Let's go add a parameter. Capital appreciation VST. Let's move that under RT. VST, nice VST. All right, fundamentally sound. RVRS above 1. VST is just in a downtrend. I'd be careful. The 3 is still below the 8 and below trend, and volume is falling. Do I have earnings on here? There's earnings. Earnings looks good, but the stock's price is going down. I need the stock to show me something. I need the 3 to be above the 8. I need the 3 to be above the 8 before I think about taking power. Fundamentally sound, though. ACGL looks good. Bottom left, top right. I do like that. New 3-month high today. Watch the wick. Watch the wick at the top. I got out of power when it fell under 200, and I have not seen it show up on my screen since then. Wow. But again, if we looked at power, I'm not feeling it. It's not the time. I think, again, it's fundamentally sound, but not the right time to be in it. All right, ACGL, I love the earnings. The volume is pretty good. CLS, I like that. Earnings per share looks good. Relative value, relative safety, both above 1. Trend is in place. 3 is above the 8. I like that play. I like that play, and I cannot lie. Let's go to the next one. Annette, right now is in a little bit of a channel. We'll take that off. Annette is in a little bit of a channel. 3 and the 8 look good. It is in trend. Earnings is up. I'd like to see it break above that 3-month level of resistance, though. All right, I'd like to see you get out of that. Joey, get your whip wet and get Glenn to work harder. What the flying flip are you talking about? Hi-ya! Does anybody want to see Glenn get whipped for not doing the? I'm bringing the dirt. I'm giving all the damn fish, and you want me to get whipped up? Sigh, Luke, you need to go somewhere. God, I'm giving y'all fish. I'm giving you stocks. No, you want more than 12 stocks? No. Joey's got a tea time. Joey tells me, he's got a tea time. All right. Wow. PGR. I like that. Look at that. Nice 45-degree angle. Above trend. 3 and the 8 are good. Earnings per share. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. I like that play. No, that comment was because you all me get all whipped. I'm trying to work for you guys. I've been giving you guys fish. These are your stocks, by the way, but I've been giving you guys fish. Woo, CRH. I still like the building space, but if the economy is getting hurt, if the economy is getting hurt, I'd be leery. I'd be leery. I'm wondering if the interest rates are affecting a lot of these companies that are doing the building, that they may pull back on the time frames that they were going to have these buildings built. We'll see. Glenn, you need to cut down on your coffee. Nope. You know, too many people want me on that Cafe Bustelo. Or else these could be boring. All right, let's go look at the bottom. Here's one that's fundamentally sound, though. AEHR. Just in a sell. The rest of these are mixed. Earnings, for the most part, on them. Earnings growth for the most part of them are good. Love you, Glenn. Gotta go. See you on X. See you, Gold Cross. And don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. Let's go view the stock graphs. Let's go check them out. 3 months. Uranium. You know, nice run here. Pull back now below trend. That's my 20-day simple moving average. Or is it exponential? It's exponential. Where's my 20? Isn't that? No, it's a simple. It's a 20-day simple. It's below, and the 3 is below the 8. I'd be careful right now. I like the move off of this swing low. If you're in it, I'd leave it alone. My get out rock solid price would be about $1.34. All right, if it goes below the swing low, swing chariot. Oof. AEHR. Relative value, relative safety are good. Not a right time to be in it, though. 72 likes. Come on. Yeah, I agree. Listen, you know me. I love bringing you guys all of the stuff that I can bring you. All I can ask, you know something, we ain't asking you to buy nothing. But you can hit the like button, especially if it appeals to you. All right. So, below trend. The 3 is below the 8. I'm not feeling it. All right. AEHR had bad earnings. Oof. I'm not feeling it. And it went below this 3-month level of support right here. It's got more downside. I like that it's fundamentally sound in the earnings per share, all of that. But earnings looks like it affected the stock adversely. He's H&E equipment, I do like back in trend above the 20-day. The 3 is above the 8, but it's got headwinds. It's got a couple of levels of resistance to get through. All right, it's got a level of resistance at 45.25 and at 46.68. I like the move coming off the swing low, the 3-month low. I like the earnings per share. But look at today's wick. A lot of profit taking. A lot of profit taking. Thank you very much for that, Jake. Click on the one stock, press shift, click another, and that will be high. Okay. Thank you guys for helping out, Nat. Thank you for helping out, Nat. Let's go. Wow. PAG, Penske. Earnings is there. Relative value is below 1. Relative safety above 1. But it's in a downtrend. The 3 is below the 8, below trend, and went below the 3-month low. I like the move today, but not enough. Not enough. I got to let the stock come to me. Not enough. Defend. I think after the war kicked off, big jump. The 3 is currently above the 8. It is above trend, but it's stalling out right now. I did a video on how to invest in defense stocks and how they really work. If you hadn't watched that, take a look at it. I think a lot of people don't realize truly how defense stocks work and how to invest in them and what to expect out of them. Go check that video out. And the last stock is NA, Nanolab, Semiconductor. I like the move. The 3 is not above the 8. You know what I need? I need this stock to get out of its own way. Let it get above that 144 before I think, because it's got some upside at least from 144 up to 183. Yeah, it needs to get out of that way of the level of support at 144. All right, that's all the stocks. That's all the stocks you gave me. Which one I want? Do I want that one? Yeah, I want that one. All right. Hey, hit the like button. Ted says, thanks, Glenn. I'll check out the video about defense investing. Another nice job. Try not to give the detractors airtime. Listen, everybody is here, has a right to say something. You know, and it's up to me to either answer it or not. But you guys get to see all the comments. So, you know, don't be afraid as VV Nation to step up and say something. This is your channel. I'm just a facilitator. I'm just a guy. Joey made this awesome background for Halloween. I love it. Joey did a great job. All right. Good session, Glenn. Thank you. You're very welcome, Gordon. I don't know how many likes we got, but you know, I always try to get out with at least 100 likes. Don't start, Fireblazer. Don't even start. Don't start. Joey, shut him down. All right. You shut him down. All right. Thanks, Glenn. Headed out to stimulate the economy. Thank you, Janice. Make it happen. Make it happen. All right, folks, I got to go. I will have a 6 p.m. video tonight about ETFs. That's all I'm going to say about it. Check it out. All right, check it out. It could put you in a good situation. All right, John, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Can you check TPL, Mr. Boilerman? I'm going to go. You know, that's like Shaba. Mr. Boilerman, Shaba. All right. How many of y'all got that? I do like some Shaba. All right. But I like that, man. Mr. Boilerman, Shaba. All right. I know, you know, maybe I need to bump up from 10 to 15 stocks, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, folks, I got to go. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii, especially in Maui. Bom dia. Salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.